In the heart of Uziza village, nestled between the rolling hills and dense forest of eastern Nigeria, lived Ngozi, a young girl with a heart full of dreams and a mind brimming with curiosity. But dreams were a luxury for the girls of Uziza, where tradition was the law, and the law decreed that a girl's place was in the home, not in school. Ngozi's father, Ngozi Okeke, was a stern man, steeped in the ways of the ancestors. To him, the idea of educating a girl was as foreign as the missionaries who had once tried to bring their teachings to the village. A woman's worth, Ngozi would say, is measured by her ability to care for her husband and children, not by the number of books she has read. But Ngozi was different. From a young age, she had watched the boys of the village march off to school, their heads held high, their futures full of promise. She longed to join them, to sit in a classroom and learn about the world beyond the borders of Uziza. However, such thoughts were dangerous, and Ngozi knew better than to voice them aloud. Instead, she nurtured her dreams in silence, hoping against hope that one day, she would find a way to make them a reality. As Ngozi approached her 16th birthday, the pressure on her to conform to tradition grew unbearable. Ngozi Okeke had already begun speaking with Okaji, a wealthy suitor from a neighboring village, about the possibility of marriage. Okaji was a man of means, with many yam barns and a sprawling compound. To Ngozi, he was the perfect match for his daughter, strong, wealthy, and eager to start a family. But when Ngozi heard of her father's plans, she felt a cold knot of fear in her stomach. Marriage was not what she wanted, not when her dreams were so close, yet so far out of reach. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ngozi summoned all the courage she had and approached her father. "Papa," she began, her voice trembling. "I do not wish to marry yet. I want to go to school, to learn, to become something more." Ngozi Okeke's face darkened with anger. "Nonsense," he thundered. "A woman's place is in the home. What will people say if I let my daughter waste her youth chasing foolish dreams?" But Ngozi stood her ground, her heart pounding in her chest. "Papa, please," she begged. "I want to be educated. I want to make something of myself." Ngozi Okeke stared at his daughter, his eyes narrowing. For a moment, he seemed to consider her words, but then he shook his head. "You are too young to know what you want," he said, his voice final. "You will marry Okaji, and that is the end of it." But Ngozi was not ready to give up. She had seen the path her life would take if she allowed herself to be swept along by tradition, and it terrified her more than the thought of defying her father. That night, she lay awake, her mind racing with thoughts of escape, of finding a way to pursue her dreams. The next morning, when Ngozi Okeke handed Ngozi a basket of oranges to sell at the Ike market, she knew what she had to do. She would go to the market, but not just to sell oranges. She would find a way to continue her education, even if it meant doing so in secret. As Ngozi set up her stall at the bustling market, she noticed a group of women gathered at a small stall selling books and educational materials. Curious, she approached them and struck up a conversation. One of the women, who introduced herself as Uloma, was a teacher who ran evening classes for women and girls who had been denied formal education. "Many of us were in your position once," Uloma said kindly. "But education is a powerful thing. It can change your life, give you opportunities you never imagined." Ngozi felt a flicker of hope ignite in her heart. "How can I join your classes?" she asked eagerly. Uloma smiled. "Come to the church hall after the market closes. We meet there every evening." From that day on, Ngozi's life took on a new rhythm. She spent her days selling oranges at the market, and in the evenings, she would slip away to the church hall, where she joined other girls and women in learning to read, write, and do arithmetic. It was exhausting work, juggling her responsibilities at home and at the market with her studies, but Ngozi was determined. She knew that this was her only chance to achieve her dreams. As the months passed, Ngozi's secret was discovered by her father. He was furious, accusing her of bringing shame to the family. But by then, Ngozi had found an ally in her mother, Mama Ada, who had quietly supported her daughter's ambitions. "Let the girl learn," Mama Ada had pleaded with Motsi. "She is not like the others. She has a fire in her that cannot be extinguished." Motsi Okeke had grudgingly relented, allowing Ngozi to continue her education on the condition that she fulfilled her duties at home and in the market. It was not an easy life, but it was one that Ngozi was willing to endure if it meant achieving her dreams. Ngozi's perseverance paid off. She completed her primary and secondary education through evening classes, and with the support of Uloma and other teachers, she applied for and was accepted into Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Nsukka. It was there that Ngozi met Nneka, a lecturer in the medical faculty who became both a mentor and a friend. "Ngozi, you have a rare gift," Nneka told her one day as they sat in the university's bustling courtyard. "You have the intelligence and determination to become a great doctor. The journey will be hard, but I believe in you." Nneka's words gave Ngozi the strength to push through the challenges of medical school. There were times when she felt overwhelmed, times when she doubted herself, but she never gave up. She knew that she was fighting not just for herself, but for all the girls in Uziza who had been told that their dreams were impossible. Years passed, and Ngozi graduated with honors, becoming the first female doctor in the history of Uziza village. The day she returned home, the entire village gathered to celebrate her achievement. Even Motsi Okeke, who had once been so adamant that a girl's place was in the home, could not hide his pride. "My daughter, the doctor," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You have proven us all wrong." Ngozi smiled, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. She had overcome the odds, defied tradition, and carved out a path for herself that no one had thought possible. As she looked out at the faces of the girls in the crowd, she knew that her journey was just beginning. She would not stop until every girl in Uziza had the same opportunities that she had fought so hard to claim. And so, the story of Ngozi, the girl who dared to dream, became a legend in Uziza village, inspiring generations of girls to follow in her footsteps and reach for the stars.